Welcome to Quickshots.
Well, hey, welcome to Quickshots with your favourite cousins. Wow, three bangers. We got 40 questions come through last week. In the last couple of weeks. That's more than we can keep up with. We're going to be doing five a week on these. Cuz you're getting the first one. Somnath. Interesting. How do tax benefits work if I live in a different state?
Okay, so let's talk about. We'll talk about the different taxes that you have to pay as a property investor. The first one is, you've got income tax, which can be offset at through the federal government by whatever the net cost is of your property, and the net cost can be the rent, less all of the expenses, including interest, less the depreciation. So that comes in the way of normally a refund on any tax that you might have paid throughout the year. Somnath. The other taxes that you pay is at a state government level, you pay a land tax, which is a state-by-state tax that only applies to the properties that you own within that state, and then you get a tax benefit from that expense out of your federal income tax. And then at a local level, you've got your council rates for garbage disposal, water, sewage, all that sort of thing. So again, which is tax deductible. So state, local and federal, the main tax benefits come from your income tax, which you pay to the Commonwealth government. Everything else is just a state-by-state or local council tax. Somnath. So hopefully that one helps to answer. Vivian, this one came in after we talked last week about what's required for, I think it was Wendy, to get into a property. Is it possible with only $50,000 worth of cash flow to get into the property market?
Well, when you say worth of cash flow, it kind of leaves it open to interpretation.
Yeah.
I assume she means deposit. Oh, yeah. Look, it is. It is possible. I would just be questioning what you're buying and, is it quite tight? I would say that you could probably do that today as a first home buyer, buying a specific property with 50 grand, provided you're getting some of those grants and help outs by the relevant state government. But it's going to be tight. I'm going to put that out there. It's going to be tight. I would have a bit of a look at, where you're likely going to buy, and then maybe work backwards from there, or what your income can service as a debt, and then work backwards on what you need as a deposit and cost. But 50 grand is tight, cuz I would never say no to anything, because I've seen some crazy things happen and some people being really diligent buying. So I would never say no, but I would say that's pretty
as we said
safe.
last week, you need about 15%. So you'd be sort of in the 300,000s on that basis, which is hard to do. Not impossible, but hard to do. Unless you get a 95% loan, which some people can get if you're in, certain professions. I've found that, there's certain professions that can get those sorts of loans. So not impossible, Vivian.
It's not impossible, and you might live at home, still have pretty much no expenses, and, you might work 2 jobs. So it could be a possibility for you. This one, cuz your bread and butter from Raj, is it a good idea to use the equity on your owner occupier, your principal place where you live, to buy an investment property?
Yeah, so your 2 options when it comes to buying an investment property is you can either put in cash or you can borrow the money. So, most of the time you're going to have to put down a 10 or 20% deposit plus stamp duty and the other costs with cash, or you can use equity in your home where basically you borrow money against your home but use it to buy an investment property. I always use equity, and I always encourage people to use equity and avoid cash if they've got a debt on their own home. Even if you've got the cash there, what I would normally do is pay down the home loan and then draw it back out as equity. The reason being is that if you pay down your home loan with the cash, it means that you're reducing your non-deductible debt. And if you draw out that money to then go and use on an investment property, that is tax deductible. So even though it sits under your home loan, which is your place that you live in, it is tax deductible because you've used it for the purpose of buying an investment property. So, Raj, always, unless in real unique situation where it isn't possible and we've got to use cash, would I suggest using cash over equity in your home as deposit and costs on a property?
Well answered, my friend. And that pretty much wraps us up for the 3 doozy questions this week on Quickshots. Hey, thanks so much for dialing in. We love and appreciate you.
Yeah, we love hearing from you guys.
Yeah.
Have a good weekend, Cuz.
Actually, yeah. Have a belter. Thanks for listening to another episode of The Double Shot with your favourite cousins, Alex and James Fitzgerald. If you've got a burning question or something we absolutely need to talk about on the pod, please write to us. Both of our emails are in the show notes. For little real estate tidbits and a little bit of banter, okay, a lot of banter, you can follow us on the gram. Our handle is thedoubleshot.podcast. That, my friends, is thedoubleshot.podcast. Until next time, think of us when you sit back and sip your next double shot.